Dun, 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 dun. Doing this. Hey, it's Annika here with Sniffdog. Does puppy play make you uncomfortable? Are you worried that your dog is a bully or is being bullied? I'm here today to give you 3 tangible tips to make sure that play dates with your new puppy or your adult dog are successful. At Sniffdog, we're here to teach you how to speak dog. If you can have a better understanding of your dog, you can have a relationship built off trust and fun. We want to come on this wonderful journey of pet ownership with you to help empower the love and connection between you and your pup. Whether you're a first-time pet owner or a seasoned vet when it comes to owning a dog, sometimes interpreting dog play can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you've had a dog that's been aggressive in the past or you've witnessed some pretty gnarly dog fights. When you watch your new dog or other dogs engage with your dog, it can be really triggering to not know whether the play is appropriate or detrimental to their dog skill development. I'm here today to empower you so that you understand when play is appropriate or not appropriate and give you the tools to make sure that you are navigating conflict appropriately. Don't forget to download the training tip sheet for today's video and also stay tuned till the bloopers. Today's 3 training tips are: tip number 1, understand and observe play signals and canine body language. Tip number 2, avoid conflict through consent checks and safe spots during play sessions. And tip number 3, keep play under 30 to 45 minutes while taking breaks in play. Well, of course you're going to be overwhelmed when dogs are playing if you don't know what you're looking at. The thing with dog play that really throws people off is most appropriate dog play actually looks like dog fighting. Play biting, play shaking, play chasing, play tail grabbing. It's pretty brutal, but it should look like this, and it's totally normal if you're a little uncomfortable with where to draw the line between play and bullying or inappropriate playing. I'm here to help you with that. So I'm going to give you lots of examples today of body language to look for. Understand and observe play signals and canine body language. Understanding canine body language and play behavior is really a great way to make sure that you are objectively observing play and making sure that it is both mutual and safe. We can break it into 3 categories. The first thing we want to watch for is called role reversal. Role reversal basically implies there's one giver and one receiver in high intensity play. It's really important that we see the dogs take turns both being the chaser and being the chasee, or being on top in play and then reversing to being on the bottom in play. If one dog's only comfortable being the chaser or being on top in play, the receiver of the high intensity play might start to get a little bit agitated, uncomfortable, or even bullied into receiving play they're not totally okay with. So it is a wonderful thing to see role reversal, where they're taking turns back and forth unpredictably every few minutes or so, being the giver and the receiver of the high intensity play. Another behavior to watch for is called self-handicapping. Now, this is really common in play when we've got an older dog and a younger dog, or even a large dog and a small dog. Self-handicapping is when the large or older dog puts themselves at a disadvantage in order to welcome the young or smaller dog. Now, that's a more common dynamic, but dogs of all sizes will rehearse self-handicapping. It almost is an invitation for the smaller or lesser confident dog to come engage with them. This self-handicapping dog might lie on their back and roll over. They might get low and lie down, so to let a smaller dog or a puppy come all over them. It's a really beautiful behavior to see, and not all dogs do it. So you would love to see your dog offer what we call self-handicapping. And the last really important body language to look for is called meta signals. Meta signals are things that dogs do to initiate play. They're basically the wink that says, what I'm about to do might be intense, but I promise you I'm playing. In the absence of meta signals, some dogs will take play behavior as inappropriate and be offended by it. So you really want to see your dog offering what we call meta signals. A few examples of meta signals would be the common play bow, when they're stiff and in a standoff with another dog, and then they go poof, elbows down and butt in the air and offer what we call a play bow. That basically means I'm about to chase you, or I want you to chase me, and I am playing, even if my posture looks a bit intense and my eye contact is really keen. Another really great meta signal to see is the rocking horse run, or loose body movement, bouncy running. Dogs are very efficient, and if they are not in conflict, they're likely just using very loose body language without much efficiency to play. And that's why we call it the rocking horse run, where they're very loosey-goosey in their gait running towards another dog. That's a beautiful behavior to see. Lastly, another common meta signal that we see is called play face. It's where their mouth is really loose and open and their tongue is hanging out to the side. And they might be playing with their mouths like this without any efficiency at all. There's lots of tongue and loose, open mouths. Play face is gorgeous to see. It means that they might be using a lot of teeth and a lot of snarling and a lot of noise, but if their mouth is loose and open and that tongue flopping all about, they are having fun. So don't misinterpret play face with aggression. I hope giving you some objective things to look for in your dog's play is helpful for you, but what I really want to stretch is that play often looks like aggression. There should be teeth showing, there should be neck grabbing and shaking, there should be body slamming and rolls and throwdowns and tail bites, and it's all play as long as you see some of those meta signals, the self-handicapping, and the loosey-goosey body language that comes with them giving another dog the wink that what they're doing is play, although it might seem a little bit intense. Training tip number 2 is to avoid conflict through consent checks and providing safe spots for your dogs. First, let's talk about how to set up an appropriate play date. Doing play dates on neutral territory, meaning not the home of one dog or the other, can be helpful, but if you have a young puppy, it probably doesn't matter too much to your puppy. The bigger the space, the less likely they are to have conflict. So maybe open up your living room, or ideally you practice this in a backyard so that dogs have lots of space to engage and disengage from play as they see fit. Make sure in this big open play space that you lift up any food-related resources. So that could be water dishes, empty food dishes, obviously food dishes that do have food in them, rawhides, bully sticks, favorite toys, squeaky toys, anything that's food related or very high value and loved from your dog. If you lift it, then there's less likely to be a chance that they fight over that shared resource that's now in their play space. A really common error when people are facilitating play dates between puppies or adult dogs even is that we don't provide a safe place for a potentially nervous dog. Play can be quite overwhelming for a new puppy, so even if they are social, they might get scared very easily. During play dates, you must provide a safe place for your nervous dog or puppy to go to when they're feeling overwhelmed. If we do not provide them a safe place, we are very likely to cause them a trauma if they're trying to get away from play and they can't. So this safe place could be under a chair that you're sitting on, where if your dog self-advocates for space and goes under the chair, you now make sure no dogs go towards the chair. Or it could be a little cubby corner where you're providing your dog a break from the play and not letting other dogs come up to you. But your dog must have a safe place, and if that means your only option is to pick your dog up during play, no problem, by all means. It's better that you pick them up to avoid them experiencing a trauma when they're overwhelmed from other dogs than it is for you to let them sink or swim and figure it out. Letting nervous dogs figure it out in play is a very detrimental approach to their dog skill development. If you do have a nervous dog during play and you do have to remove them, no problem, give them a break, calm the other dogs down, give them some treats to help them feel a little more comfortable in the space that they're in, and then try again a few minutes later. The last part of training tip number 2 is to do consent checks. Consent checks can be practiced with any type of play date that you have facilitated. Getting comfortable administering and requesting others to do consent checks during play is something that you must master. Consent checks are when one dog, let's say Chico here, is having a party. He's having so much fun in play. He might be a little bit intense in his play. And Sandy here is nervous. She's going in and out and in and out, and she's avoiding, and then she's running around and chasing him. And she's really unclear on what she wants. Chico's owner needs to do a gentle collar grab and lure him out of play away from Sandy so that we can see, does Sandy want to play or is she going to avoid? If Chico is removed, the bully, the culprit, the party guy, if he's removed and the nervous dog or the conflicted dog goes back in right away and goes after Chico, we know that the play was consensual. Although it looked confusing, she just told us, hey, I don't actually want this to end. I'm gonna go get Chico and keep playing with him. Cedar, come here. Good boy. You good? Okay. So administering consent checks is a really great way to make sure that both dogs are having fun, the play is consensual, no one's feelings are getting hurt, no one's dog skills are being impacted negatively, and you can just do them as many times as you want. There's no such thing as too many consent checks. Remove, okay, they're still having fun. Remove, okay, they're still having fun. Remove, oh, she took space and she avoided and she moved away. Well then, Sandy did need the space that time. So do as many consent checks as you need to be sure that both the dogs participating in play are equally involved and having fun. Training tip number 3 is to keep play sessions under 30 to 45 minutes and to take breaks in play. The reason it's so important to take breaks in play and keep play under an hour is the longer dogs play, generally speaking, the more hyped up and amped up that they become. The more amped up they become, the less appropriate their play can be. Especially if you have a puppy under 5 months old, it's very important that you make sure to take lots of breaks and don't stretch it too long. They're gonna get overtired, they're gonna get cranky, they're gonna get snappy, and it will not be pretty if you push it too long. Taking breaks in play literally means doing more consent checks than you usually would and removing both dogs from each other and maybe doing 3 to 5 minutes of training or calm petting to let them self-soothe between high intensity play sessions. Some dogs will advocate for this on their own. They will walk away and ignore the other dog for quite some time in order to shake it off and let go of that stress and tension that the play itself was creating within them.
Okay, pop-ups. Take a break. This is a good demonstration of when things go wrong. Good.
Other dogs have no idea when to stop and they need your help. So it's best to be proactive, remove the dogs from each other every 5 to 10 minutes or so and give them a 5-minute break and then let them go party again. I always tell people, imagine it like it's intervals: high intensity play, brain activity, and calm behavior. High intensity play, brain activity, and calm behavior. So you want to see their excitement levels doing more of this rather than over 45 minutes just going up, 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 because the higher their arousal, the less appropriate the play will be. Now, I'll just quickly talk about a few common errors. Most people love to let their dog meet other dogs and play with other dogs when they're on leash. I'm actually an advocate to avoid that as much as possible. If your dog expects they get to play with every dog that they meet on the street, then they're gonna get really intense about pulling towards or barking at other dogs potentially as they age, as they expect and get agitated that they can't get to that dog because of the play that they expect they're going to get. So making sure that you're facilitating off-leash play and avoiding too much on-leash play is probably in your best interest. The other reason I avoid on-leash play or too many on-leash dog interactions is because the leash doesn't really allow dogs to have a common or normal or healthy conversation with each other because it's a string that's usually really tight and attached to them, and they're not able to engage and disengage as naturally as they will when they're off leash. A lot can be lost in translation between two dogs when they're engaging on the leash. Another common error with facilitating play dates is too small of a space with too many dogs. There's literally nowhere for them to go, to hide, to avoid, to take some space to shake it off. And so you want to make sure that your play sessions are between 2 to 5 dogs and probably not very many more than that, because it becomes a lot to manage with consent checks and observing body language objectively, etc. So less is more with play sessions, but I would recommend that you diversify. So don't play with the same puppy all the time only, or else your dog only learns how to play with that particular dog's play style. I hope you found today's video helpful and informative. I want you to be more confident navigating dog play dates so that you know when your dog is just having a riot versus when you need to intervene. Thank you, as always, for watching our video. We are new here. We would love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press the notify button so you find out when our next video comes out every week. Like, share, and leave some comments. If you're following from Facebook, please like, share, and tell your friends. And follow us on Instagram. We've got lots of tidbits of tips available to you there. Speaking of tips, don't forget to download the training tip sheet I made for you based off of today's video information. Enjoy the bloopers. Understanding body language, it can be, understanding